Assalamu alaikum and hello everyone. This is Miraj Kamran and you're watching Explore Chemistry. So today I am going to teach you about carbohydrates. This topic is related to biochemistry, but mostly we are going to study chemistry of carbohydrates today. The pictures which you are watching here, these are the food items in which carbohydrates are present in large quantities. So let's start. Carbohydrates are very important biomolecule which we intake through our food. They are very important macronutrient. Macronutrient is written over here because they are present in large quantity and they are required by our body in large quantity because they perform important physiological function in the body like moving, walking, running, talking. All these physiological functions we perform with the help of energy provided by carbohydrates. They also form structural tissues in plants and in microorganisms. They form our muscles as well. In addition, they participate in biological transport, cell-cell recognition, activation of growth factor, modulation of the immune system, etc. So they are associated with pathological conditions also as well as diabetes, lactose intolerance, mellitus, etc. So carbohydrates are very important biomolecule. Now this was the importance of carbohydrates. Mostly you study importance in chemistry or biology. But today we are going to study chemistry of these carbohydrates. These carbohydrates are chemically formed in plants by photosynthesis. This is a chemical reaction which takes place inside plant or in leaves. In leaves, carbohydrates are formed mostly glucose. Carbon dioxide in plants react with water in the presence of sunlight. This reaction takes place. Chlorophyll and sunlight is used in this reaction. Carbon dioxide and water is converted into glucose and oxygen. As you know, plants inhale carbon dioxide and exhale oxygen. So through this process, they convert carbon dioxide into oxygen with the formation of glucose. This is the formula of glucose, and glucose is the simplest carbohydrates. So chemically, carbohydrates contain three elements: carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. What are reacting in these in the formation of this glucose? These three elements: carbon, oxygen, and hydrogen. Carbon dioxide will produce carbon for the formation of carbohydrate, and water will produce oxygen and hydrogen. Therefore, they are known as carbohydrate. Hydrate word meaning is water and carbo means carbon. Therefore, their name is carbon and water means carbohydrates. So, mostly plants produce carbohydrates through photosynthesis process. If we want to check the chemistry of carbohydrates, which functional group is present and which type of elements are present, which type of bond is present. So let's see. Carbohydrate word is related to saccharide. Saccharide is a Greek word meaning is sugar. Because these carbohydrates were sweet in taste, therefore they are named as saccharides. Organic compounds composed of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen are known as carbohydrates. This is the simplest definition of carbohydrates. Many carbohydrates may also contain nitrogen and other elements, but these three elements are essential: carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Carbohydrates name is derived from their composition. Carbon and water is present. With this composition, we can find out the general formula of carbohydrates also, like C6H12O6 is the simplest glucose. So its formula is actually C6 and 6 water molecules. So we can write general formula for glucose as CN H2O N. N can be changed according to the number of carbon atom present in any carbohydrate. But for different carbohydrate, this general formula is not applicable. So it is not true for all carbohydrate. This is the glucose structure. It is the simplest carbohydrate. Here you can see 6 carbon atoms are present. Because carbohydrates are having large structure, so we draw usually vertical structure in place of horizontal structure. There are 6 carbon atoms, and with every carbon atom OH group is attached. Over here OH is here, and in this carbon OH is here. Except for this first carbon, every carbon atom contains OH group with its structure. This is another type of carbohydrate, deoxyribose. This structure, in this structure, every corner or every dot is representing one carbon atom. Like there is a presence of one carbon here, 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 and here also. Here you can see every carbon atom is containing one OH group except for this carbon atom. It is not containing any OH group. So therefore the general representation, general molecular formula CnH2n is not applicable for this carbohydrate. So that was the general formula, this one, but it is not applicable for all carbohydrates. So check this structure. These are two isomers or stereoisomers of the same compound, deoxyribose. What is the difference? Why we are saying these are stereoisomers? Because there is a difference of OH groups. In this structure, OH is on the right hand side, and in this structure OH is on the left hand side. So 3D structure of both the compounds are different. They are known as stereoisomers of each other. So mostly carbohydrates have stereoisomerism. So carbohydrates you have seen are having many OH group. In the glucose there is OH attached with each carbon atom. Over here, except for one, OH is attached with each carbon atom almost. So which functional group is present in carbohydrates? This OH functional group. They are known as alcoholic group or hydroxyl group. But not the single hydroxyl group is attached. Many hydroxyl groups are attached. So we can say carbohydrates contains polyhydroxyl functional group. Okay. Another functional group present in carbohydrate is carbonyl group. You have seen this structure. Every carbon atom is attached with OH, and one more group is attached over here, CO. Here also. In the previous example also, CO group is also attached. This functional group is known as carbonyl functional group. So carbohydrates contains polyhydroxy alcohol as well as carbonyl functional group, and there are two types of carbonyl functional group, aldehyde and ketone. The difference between aldehyde and ketone is this: if oxygen with the double bond is attached with carbon and this carbon is corner carbon of the chain or of the structure, then the functional group is known as aldehyde. And if oxygen is attached with one carbon and this carbon is present in the center of the structure, it is not the corner carbon, it is center carbon, then this functional group is known as ketone functional group. So carbohydrates contains aldehyde and ketone as well. So we can define carbohydrates as polyhydroxy aldehyde or polyhydroxy ketone. So the chemistry of carbohydrate or chemical definition of carbohydrate is they are polyhydroxyaldehyde or polyhydroxyketone. Now how they are aldehyde and ketone? Check these two structures. Every structure is having OH group. First of all, you can see with every carbon OH group is attached in both the structure. Except for one carbon, OH group is attached with every carbon. Now in this structure, oxygen is attached with the corner carbon. In this structure, oxygen is attached with the center carbon. So both the compounds contain more than hydroxyl group, and both the compounds contain carbonyl functional group. C double bond O is known as carbonyl functional group, but the difference is one is aldehyde because oxygen is attached with the corner carbon, another one is ketone because oxygen is attached with the center carbon. Therefore, carbohydrates are polyhydroxyaldehyde or polyhydroxyketone. So this is the definition of carbohydrates. They are polyhydroxy alcohol with carbonyl group, which may be either the aldehyde or keto group. Now we are going to see some other carbohydrates also. This is not necessary that carbohydrates always contain aldehyde or ketone functional group. This is another structure of a large carbohydrate. It does not contain any carbonyl group or aldehyde or ketone group, but it contains ether functional group. This is known as ether linkage whenever oxygen is attached with two different carbon atoms. This is known as ether linkage. So over here ether linkage is present. When this compound will undergo hydrolysis, means whenever this compound will react with water on hydrolysis, it will produce two different compounds, and that will be aldehyde and ketone. So it is not necessary that always carbohydrates will contain aldehyde and ketone, but on hydrolysis they can produce aldehyde and ketone. They may also contain ether functional group, and when this will react with water, on reacting with water, this ether linkage will break down and it will give two different compounds. One will be containing aldehyde, another will be containing ketone. So some larger carbohydrates may also contain ether functional group, and on hydrolysis they can convert into aldehyde or ketone. On hydrolysis or reaction with water, actually they break down. This ether linkage will break down, and this ether linkage is known as glycosidic linkage. Glycosidic linkage is a linkage in which two simple carbohydrates will combine each other through ether linkage, and this will form a large carbohydrate molecule, and this large carbohydrate molecule will again break down on hydrolysis, and it will give monomers or two simple carbohydrates through which they are formed. So on the basis of number of carbon atoms, there are different classes of carbohydrates. These two are simplest carbohydrates, but these two can combine and make a large carbohydrate. How they will combine? If a water molecule will remove from here, a glycosidic linkage or ether linkage will form between two carbonyl groups, and a large carbohydrate will form. And this large carbohydrate will can again break down into simple carbohydrates by reaction with water. Again, it will react with water and it can break down in simple carbohydrates, and it can produce two carbohydrates containing two different carbonyl groups, or sometimes can contain two simple same carbonyl groups. Both the groups can be aldehyde, both the groups can be ketone, and both the groups in both the groups one can be aldehyde, another can be ketone. Now, many polyhydroxy alcohol may not have an active aldehyde or ketone group, but they may yield them on hydrolysis. They are also designated as carbohydrates. So this was the definition, that carbohydrates are polyhydroxyaldehyde and ketone, but many carbohydrates cannot contain aldehyde or ketone, but on hydrolysis they can produce aldehyde or ketone. These are some simple carbohydrates. The structures which are shown in yellow part, all these are containing aldehyde group. You can see in every structure oxygen is attached with the corner carbon. So these are aldehydic groups. And in these structure they are having keto functional group. In each structure oxygen is attached with the center carbon. So those carbohydrates which contain aldehydic functional group, they are named as aldoses. So these are known as aldoses. And those carbohydrates which contain ketone functional group, they are known as ketoses. And on the basis of number of carbon atoms present in each structure, they are also named as triose. If the structure contains 3 carbon atoms, you can see there are 3 carbon atoms in this structure, so they are named as triose. And if a functional group is aldehyde, they are named as aldotriose. Similarly, here in this structure, 3 carbon atoms are present. They are also known as triose, but they are known as ketotriose. So, this will be aldotriose and this will be ketotriose. The name which is written over here are common names of these compounds. In this structure, every carbon atom, 5 carbon atom is present actually, and aldehyde functional group. So this compound is actually aldopentose due to 5 carbon atoms. If there will be 4 carbon atoms, that compound will be called as tetrose. So according to the number of carbon atoms, they are named as triose, pentose, tetrose, hexose, heptose, and so on. And we can mention the name of functional group as aldose ketose. So this will be aldopentose and this will be aldoketose. And these two compounds contain 6 carbon atoms. You can count here. So these compounds are actually aldohexose and this one is aldoketose because it is also containing 6 carbon atoms. Aldoketose is actually fructose. The common name of this compound is fructose. And aldohexose, ketohexose is fructose, aldohexose can be glucose or galactose. There is a difference of this hydroxyl group only in both the structure. Both the structure contain aldehyde functional group, both the structure contains 6 carbon atoms, but the position of hydroxyl group is different. So therefore it is known as glucose, it is known as galactose. So in this way some simple carbohydrates can be named. Now carbohydrates containing 5 or 6 carbon atoms can form a ring-like structure in solutions. And solutions are present in cells. Here the ring structure is formed through carbonyl functional group of one carbon and hydroxyl functional group of another carbon. So this one is linear structure and this one is ring structure. So in solution, many carbohydrates can form ring-like structures. And in these carbons are numbered, so you can identify either it is tetrose, hexose, pentose or heptose. Now we are going to do classification of carbohydrates. On the basis of number of carbon or on the basis of structure, mainly there are 3 classes of carbohydrates. First one is known as monosaccharides. Examples are glucose, fructose. Up till now we have discussed only monosaccharides. Second is oligosaccharides. Examples are lactose, maltose, sucrose. Sucrose is the table sugar which we use in our daily life. Another type is polysaccharide. Examples are starch, chitin, glycogen, cellulose. So let's discuss these carbohydrates or branches of carbohydrates, types of carbohydrates in detail. Simplest to complex carbohydrates. So simplest carbohydrates are monosaccharides. They are simple because they contain only one monomer, one small molecule. Example is glucose, and this small molecule can contain 3 to 9 carbon atoms. Therefore, they are known as monomers. 3 to 9 carbon atoms are present. They are known as monosaccharides. Mono mean word is 1. Next type is oligosaccharide. Oligosaccharides contain 2 till 9 monomers of monosaccharides. These simple carbohydrates can combine through glycosidic linkage and form an oligosaccharide. So oligosaccharide can contain 2, 3, 4, 5 till 9 monosaccharide units. If they contain 2 monosaccharide units, that oligosaccharide is known as disaccharide. If they contain 3 carbohydrates, 3 monomers connected through glycosidic linkage, They are called as trisaccharides. So oligosaccharides can be disaccharide, trisaccharide, tetrasaccharide, pentasaccharide, hexasaccharide and so on the basis of number of monomers through which they have formed. Glucose is this is the glucose structure. Example of oligosaccharide is sucrose. Sucrose is the table sugar which we use usually. Third type is polysaccharides. In polysaccharides, there are many monosaccharides. Monosaccharides, 10 till 1000 monosaccharides are joined through glycosidic linkage. Therefore, they are very large polymers and they form a large molecule. Example is starch. Now we are going to see some more characteristics of these three types of carbohydrates. Acha, first see this. This is simple monosaccharide structure. Here you can see only one unit or one monomer is present. This one is oligosaccharide or disaccharide. Here two monomers are connected through glycosidic linkage or ether linkage. This one is polysaccharides. Here many carbohydrates, many monomers or monosaccharides are connected through glycosidic linkage, ether linkage. So this one is known as polysaccharides and all are carbohydrates. How two monomers or monosaccharides combine to form a large structure? Here you can see these are two monosaccharides, glucose and glucose. Through dehydration process means removal of water. The word dehydration means water will remove from here. Through dehydration process, these two can combine. OH group will remove from one monomer, H is removed from one another monomer. So it will make H2O. In this way, a bond will be free in case of this carbon and a bond will be free in case of this oxygen. So a bond between carbon and oxygen will form. This will be uh, an ether linkage. These two are monosaccharide and the compound which will obtain through dehydration is known as maltose, which is a disaccharide, a type of oligosaccharide. This will form through glycosidic linkage. So this one is known as glycosidic linkage. In this way, oligosaccharides are formed. So we can say many monomers, many small units can combine through glycosidic linkage and they can form a large molecule. Another example, this one is glucose, another is fructose. Whenever glucose and fructose will combine through dehydration, these two monosaccharides will produce a large molecule which is a disaccharide, sugar or sucrose. Got it? So sugar is present in many food items. This one is a disaccharide which is obtained from the reaction dehydration of glucose and fructose. So monosaccharides are building blocks of oligosaccharides or disaccharides. Now we are going to discuss some properties of monosaccharides. Monosaccharides are those carbohydrates which cannot be further hydrolyzed or which cannot be broken down into more simpler substances. They cannot be hydrolyzed. Other carbohydrates can hydrolyze, means they can react with water and they can produce smaller carbohydrates or monomers. But monosaccharides are already monomers, they cannot hydrolyze or they cannot further break down. Therefore, they are considered as simplest form of carbohydrates. They contain 3 till 9 carbon atoms. So, carbohydrates chain starts from 3 carbon atoms and they are all sweet in taste. Therefore, they are very useful in food items. They are soluble in water, although they do not hydrolyze, but they can become soluble in water because the molecular mass is very low. Due to less bonds, low molecular mass, they are soluble in water. And they all are reducing agent, means they can reduce another substance by providing electrons, by providing hydrogen or by taking their oxygen. They are considered as reducing agent. And Physically, they exist in crystalline form. Examples are glucose, fructose, ribose, galactose. These are monosaccharides. They are named as on the basis of functional group and on the basis of number of carbon atoms. So there can be two types of monosaccharides. You can say aldo monosaccharides or keto monosaccharides. Aldo monosaccharides contain aldehyde functional group. Keto monosaccharides contain keto functional group. And on the basis of carbon atoms, they can be triose, tetrose, pentose, hexose, heptose. So on the basis of functional group or number of carbon atoms, they are named as aldotriose or ketotriose, aldotetrose or ketotetrose, aldopentose or ketopentose, aldohexose or ketohexose, or aldoheptose or ketohexose. And in addition, aldooctose or octose on the basis of 8 carbon atoms, octane. Now, two functional groups are present. You can easily identify now. Aldohexose is the left one, ketohexose is the right one. Aldohexose is glucose, ketohexose is fructose. Both are used as sugar. Another one you can identify here. Both are keto means aldo means contain aldehyde functional group, but number of carbon atoms are different, so they are named like this. These are some examples of monosaccharides according to their number of carbon atoms. You can note down these examples for your knowledge. This one is glyceraldehyde. This is the simplest carbohydrate because it contains only 3 carbon atoms, 2 OH group and 1 carbonyl functional group. It is the simplest carbohydrate and it cannot be hydrolyzed further. It is the smallest possible structure, that is, a carbohydrate cannot have less than 3 carbon atoms. So on this basis, general formula for all monosaccharides will be CH2ON, where N is any number of 3 or greater. N can be 3 till 9. So this will be the general formula for all monosaccharides. These are some other examples of monosaccharides. Monosaccharides can have stereoisomers. Stereoisomers are the isomers which are having same molecular formula but different 3D arrangement of atoms or molecules in space. So here you can see everything is similar over here, but this is the difference. So they are also considered as mirror images, or they can be non-mirror images also, but they are stereoisomers of each other. Both are glucose. One is known as D-glucose, another is known as L-glucose. Now, next type of carbohydrates are oligosaccharide, which contains 2 till 9 monosaccharides joined together through glycosidic linkage. These are some examples of oligosaccharides like sucrose, which are formed by one molecule of glucose and another molecule of fructose. Next is maltose, which is formed by one molecule of glucose and another molecule of glucose. Lactose, which is formed by glucose plus galactose. So in this way, oligosaccharides can be formed. These are some properties of oligosaccharides. You can see because they are made from 2 or more monosaccharides, so they can be hydrolyzed further into simple carbohydrates because they contain 3 to 9 monomers of monosaccharides. They are also sweet in taste. They are also soluble in water because still their molecular weight is less. They are also reducing agent except for sucrose. Sucrose is the only oligosaccharide which is not reducing agent. In fact, it is not oxidizing agent. Do not think that if it is not reducing agent, so it can be the oxidizing agent. No, it will not provide electron or hydrogen in any reaction. They are also having crystalline structure. These are the example of oligosaccharides, and all are disaccharide. Oligosaccharide can be tri or tetrasaccharides also. Now, polysaccharides. They are very large polymers made up of many small units of monosaccharides. Larger than 10 monosaccharide units are joined together through glucosidic linkage, and they can reach till many thousand units of monosaccharides. There are two types of polysaccharides: homopolysaccharides, heteropolysaccharides. In homopolysaccharides, similar type of monosaccharides units are joined together. Means glucose will join, many glucose monosaccharides will join together to form one molecule of starch, which is a polysaccharide. Another examples are glycogen and cellulose. Heteropolysaccharides can have different type of monosaccharides. Like these are the example of heterosaccharides. Agar contains various sugars like glucose, galactose, and some other sugars also, some other monosaccharides also joined together. So they will be considered as heteropolysaccharides. These are the properties of polysaccharides because they are also made up of simple monosaccharides. Therefore, they can be hydrolyzed further into simple carbohydrates. They may contain till from 10 till 1000 monomers or monosaccharides units joined together through glycosidic linkage. Therefore, they are tasteless. Monosaccharides and oligosaccharides were sweet in taste, but polysaccharides are tasteless, and they are insoluble in cold water. They are having high molecular weight. Because of that, they are not soluble in water. There are many bonds in their structure which cannot be easily broken down in the presence of water. Therefore, they are insoluble in water. And they are all non-reducing agent due to their large structure, and they are having amorphous structure like powder like structure. They are not having crystalline structure. These are the things in which mostly polysaccharides like starch is found. Cellulose glycogen is another example of polysaccharide. Cellulose is present in leaves. Glycogen is the compound in which glucose is converted and stored in our body. Now these are some sources of all carbohydrates from where we can obtain glucose: fruits, table sugar, honey, milk products, cereals. Fructose can be obtained from fruits and vegetable and honey. Galactose can be obtained from milk products. Sucrose can be obtained from fruit, vegetable, table sugar, honey. Lactose is also known as milk sugar. It is found in milk products, and maltose is present in malt products and some cereals. Now, you have studied carbohydrates. You should be able to give answers to these questions. In what way sugar is different from starch? You can write differences between both belongs to different types of carbohydrates. Give two similarities between monosaccharides and disaccharide. Monosaccharide can have some similar properties as oligosaccharide. You have to find out and write. Glucose is soluble in water, whereas starch is insoluble. You can write this also, the reason why glucose is soluble and starch is insoluble. So this will be your homework. So this was the end of my explanation related to carbohydrates. If you understood, please like the video and subscribe my channel for more informative videos. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.